COVID-19 has noticeably drove more global consumers online than ever. In China, a country known for its highly developed e-commerce sector, online retailers flocked to adopt live streaming, a synchronic and hyper-interactive communication technology, to promote commodity during the pandemic time. As a result, on digital platforms that fuse live streaming with e-commerce, a large group of anchors have emerged, making a living by hawking all kinds of everyday consumer goods in front of the camera. The numerical majority of them do not resonate with the figures we would typically associate with people who undertake platform-based marketing work, like the fashion vloggers, YouTubers, and Instagrammers. Instead, they tend to be people from the lower echelon of the society whose livelihood was hit hard by the pandemic. They hold the practical goal to make ends meet instead of aspirations for fame and fortune upon taking up the bite-sized marketing work created in China's live e-commerce boom. This presentation addresses two interrelated questions regarding the phenomena. First, through a critical interface analysis, I introduced the digital infrastructure that enables the formation of an on-demand live marketing workforce. Second, follow a group of grassroots anchors. I show how these individuals navigate an algorithm-mediated world that is essentially hostile to them. To understand the fusion between live streaming and e-commerce today, one has to go back to the late 2000s, when the technology was first introduced into the Chinese market. A few PC-based gaming and showroom live streaming platforms, echoing Western analogies like Twitch, emerged back then. With the advancement of mobile technology, live streaming quickly moved off the desktop into an app-mediated conduct and gained more public tractions. By the year 2016, game and showroom-themed live streaming sector in China had become overcrowded, with at least several hundred apps in this category competing for the market share. In light of the bubble and the mature user base, China's tech giant Alibaba carved out a new way to tap the potential of live streaming by integrating the technology into its e-commerce infrastructure. Initially, it was a feature directly added into Alibaba's main e-commerce app, Taobao. It later became a separate app entrance, the Taobao Live. The live e-commerce did not take off until 2018. As the statistic here shows, gross merchandise volumes achieved through this channel experienced an explosive, nearly tenfold growth in this year. The phenomenal success of Taobao Live inspired other tech capital to explore the future of live streaming e-commerce. By 2020, over a dozen platforms have crossed into this field. They fall into two distinctive modes of operation based on the core service provided. For traditional e-commerce platforms like Taobao, live marketing work is primarily undertaken by anchors recruited by each e-shop. Many are hired as long-term employees by vendors, paid with a base salary plus commission, and sometimes also provided with social security in conform with China's labor law. There are also KOLs, often incubated by MCN agencies, working with vendors on project base. In either way, anchors on e-commerce platforms pertain a less ambiguous labor identity. The way anchor is sourced on social media platform with live e-commerce service is drastically different. Here I take Douyin, the Chinese equivalent of the massively popular TikTok, as an example. According to the big data analysis, the app scored the top in terms of popularity among all live e-commerce venues in 2020. But it is worth clarifying here that while Douyin attracts more users than Taobao Live, the gross merchandise volume it achieved remained a fraction of Taobao. So let me walk you through the interface of the short video-based social media platform Douyin to show how its digital infrastructure is set up for live marketing. First of all, The app invented a sub-platform for e-commerce capital called the Premium Alliance in 2018. It is initially a gateway to other long-established e-malls like Taobao. Basically, qualified vendors can list their products with an explicit commission rate on the Premium Alliance. Douyin later stopped directing its user traffic to third-party e-commerce sites and instead run its own e-mall called the Douyin Little Shop. Vendors hosted on it are able to offer a higher commission rate because their profit are not subjected to multiple cuts as in those sealed through trans-platform transactions. On the user end, the app introduced a shopping cart feature into its live streaming interface. Once a user unlocked the feature by hitting required threshold, he or she would be able to select and add commodity cataloged on the Premium Alliance into the shopping cart. In this way, users are able to earn the listed commission by each transaction sealed through their shopping cart during their live session. When the feature was first introduced, only KOLs with million fan base were eligible to access it, but the bar has been effectively lowered to enlist small users into the commission per sale style marketing work. Today, anyone who publishes 10 short videos and accumulate 1,000 followers on the app can unlock the feature. By this design, Douyin has structurally transformed its user into a gigantic marketing force. The infrastructure was laid prior to the pandemic, but it didn't attract much of the ordinary users to explore at the beginning. Vendors who listed their commodities on the Premium League still rely on off-platform channels to reach out to and seal specific marketing deals with Douyin's KOL. It was after the COVID outbreak that millions of users locked down at home become aware of the income generation opportunities through the live marketing work. The platform's potential as the intermediary site for free matchings between endless sales labor and e-commerce capital is fully realized when users flock to pick up commodities from the Premium League and hawk them out through affect-invested live marketing. In light of the phenomena, Chinese media has pervasively proclaimed and celebrated the arrival of the 4A live marketing age during the pandemic time, namely, anything, anytime, anywhere, and anyone. In the first half of the 2020, a total of 400,000 users across all live e-commerce platforms have joined Chen to become Anchor. Together, they host over 10 million live streaming sessions and achieved an astonishing 15 billion viewership. However, the seemingly robust and inclusive live marketing sector belies its highly polarized nature. Statistics shows that top 20 anchors alone contribute to over 11% of the total GMV achieved by live marketing in 2020. They not only wield enormous bargaining power over e-commerce capital, but also achieve symbolic recognition from the Chinese society like never before. Only a few years ago, internet celebrities, or Wanjing in Chinese, was a marginalized profession that are often associated with the low culture. Today, as the photo here shows, prominent live marketing anchors is now enshrined by the Chinese state as the hero saving the country's sagging economy during the pandemic. But there are two worlds of live marketing anchors. Ordinary people who use room afforded by social media platforms like Douyin to conduct commission per sale style live marketing are struggling to actualize meaningful income, as the platform, in this case, creates distance between the sales labor and the e-commerce capital. These grassroots anchors pervasively regard their devotions as entrepreneurial endeavor. The way in which these subjects navigate platform-based marketing work and the subsequent implications constitute the focus of this research. To zero into their experience, I conducted digital ethnographies on Douyin between September 2020 and March 2021. During this time, I first trained accounts on the app targeting grassroots anchors, and then sampled the subject population through Douyin's recommendation algorithm. Eventually, I closely follow the trajectory of 22 anchors and collect data through both observation and interview. Here I present some of my preliminary findings from the fieldwork. Let me start with a depiction of the glassrule anchors the app has recommended to me thus far. They literally come from all walks of life and possess a diverse degree of tech literacy. But these subjects share a few pronounced commonalities. First of all, they constitute a highly gendered workforce. As is the common case with sales labor, women feature the definite numerical majority. And second, class-wide, glassrule anchors come from a relatively underprivileged background. This is reflected in the fact that many were already underemployed or precariously employed before the pandemic. I encountered a lot of previous rural migrant workers who used to pick up jobs in city. The class background is also revealed by their educational level. Only a small fraction reportedly received higher education. And third, when joined Chen to explore income generation opportunities through live marketing, these individuals start out with a minimum visibility on the app. Most have a tiny double-digit fan base to start out, and this reflects the very fact that they had always been content consumer on Douyin. The transit into the role of active content producer in form of short video and live streaming is therefore a brand new and challenging experience for these wannabe anchors. So, to build up their visibilities on Douyin, glassrule anchors have developed an evident culture of mutuality and reciprocity amongst peers. The Chinese word mutual at one point was widely used in the hashtags attached to their posted content or even user ID. They explicit out mutual fan, mutual like, or even give me 1 like and I'll return 3. But the platform soon realized how its content-based recommendation algorithm is cheated in this way and directed user traffic away from accounts that contain this hashtag. Even though the mutual support rule are now not directly spelled out afterwards, people still take it as an implicit custom to navigate the digital world. Peer supports do help glassrule anchors build up fan base and sometimes capture user traffic. However, it also significantly increases the time people spend on the app. Even when they are not doing live marketing or publishing short videos, they are obliged to sit through others' live session or watch, like, and comment on others' videos to boost up their data performance. But the most potent challenge facing glassrule anchors are the difficulty to translate user traffic into actual transactions sealed through their shopping carts. Only so can they extract income. In a scenario when all the live streaming sessions are marketing petty commodities from the same catalog, what is it to persuade viewers into buying from a particular anchor instead of others? As a result, many glassrule anchors adopt a business model of selling tech literacy along their commodity. Basically, they offer to teach any audience who buy from them about how to conduct Douyin-based marketing work for income. To boost up sale, anchors end up galvanizing audience entrepreneurial interests in live marketing by hiding the highly exploitative nature of the work and exaggerate its lucrative potentials. The situation mounts into many endogenously generated and self-perpetuating multi-level marketing scheme. It benefits the platform by enlisting more active users and benefit the e-commerce capital for selling the goods out, but pervasively exacerbate the internal competitions and exploitations among glassrule anchors. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.